Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7 by 7 So here we are, it is Sunday, and Solo: A Star Wars Story has been out for 3 days now. So we've finally gotten the first of our indicators as far as what people really think of Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now you can go look at Rotten Tomatoes if you want, and the user scores aren't going to tell you anything, except there is something interesting happening, I will say. It had dipped as low as 38% in terms of users who wanted to see the movie prior to the release of the movie. Now it switches over to an audience score now that the movie is out, of what people thought of it, how many people liked it, or what percentage thereof, and it's already jumped 20 percentage points. It's now at 58% of people enjoyed it, and at least that's, people who are chiming in on Rotten Tomatoes. But as we've talked about in the past, there are a couple of sources of exit polling that the movie industry trusts very explicitly because they have become very good predictors of overall box office performance over the years, and those would be CinemaScore and PostTrack. And so it turns out that the exit polling for Solo: A Star Wars Story has been pretty much in line with the most recent 3 movies from Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney that have all come out since 2015. So Force Awakens, Rogue One, and The Last Jedi. And so here is the deal. As far as an overall positive rating, it's at 89% in the exit polling, and that's a match with The Last Jedi. Rogue One hit a 91% overall positive, and The Force Awakens hit a 90% positive. So, 1%, that's such a small margin of error, it might as well be the same thing. And as far as a star rating out of 5 stars, it was 4.5 stars for The Force Awakens, and for Rogue One, it was 5 stars for The Last Jedi. And we don't have a star rating for Solo, unfortunately. That's a little bizarre. I haven't seen it reported yet anywhere, but with a 5-star rating on an 89% for The Last Jedi, I'm guessing that it's probably going to be at least a 4.5 or a 5-star rating for for Solo: A Star Wars Story. And then the other thing to share has to do with the CinemaScore. And so it was an A rating for The Force Awakens, for Rogue One, and for The Last Jedi. Not this time. Solo: A Star Wars Story gets an A-, so just a slight downgrade. And what that generally means is that, at least from a box office perspective, is that it's a difference between a 3.6 multiplier and a 3.2 multiplier, historically speaking, as far as looking at what it makes on its opening weekend versus what it makes for the entirety of its run. And we're not doing scoundrel business just yet. We will do that on Monday, but so far it's tracking a little low as far as its estimates go. But right now it's also at a 73% definite recommend rating in the exit polling too. And so the word of mouth seems to be pretty strong. And the more people I talk to just, in my life in general, the more I hear, wow, Solo was great. Wow, we really enjoyed it. And so I think it's going to be one of those situations where this thing, maybe it doesn't get out of the gate so fast, but I think it's going to have some legs to it. I think we may actually see it perform better than we thought it might, all things considered. And when I say all things considered, I mean the fact that we're releasing in the summertime on Memorial Day, which generally speaking hasn't been very strong for movies. I guess the Pirates of the Caribbean, we talked about that at World's End, was 136 million or so, and that was the big record holder for Memorial Day weekend. That's not a heck of a lot, comparatively speaking. When you look at, The Force Awakens, and 200-odd million for its opening weekend. So, it's kind of getting hobbled in a way, I guess, by the placement in May and the fact that, it's 5 months after the last Star Wars movie. And yeah, I guess you could make an argument for, well, Marvel movies come out 2-3 times a year, but they're all kind of different. They all kind of take place in different parts of the universe, and we're not really used to that idea with Star Wars, or the general public isn't necessarily. And so that's going to be one that we kind of have to ramp people up on that whole idea, right? There was a lot of talk about, with everything that went on with Lord and Miller and them getting removed from the project and bringing Ron Howard in, should they have taken the movie and let it be released in December of 2018 instead of going with the March date and sticking with the March date? I do think there is still a case to be made for that, but, that's all right. it's their money. They can do what they want with it. And it's doing all right so far. But yeah, I think I was hoping for a little bit more, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a slower burn, but a steadier burn than they're giving it credit for right now. And that's going to do it for our look at how Solo is going over with audiences. Very positively, it seems so far. And if you want to check out the audio version of the podcast over at sw7x7.com/iTunes or wherever you like to listen to podcasts, I'm doing Last Jedi trivia over there, so you can check that out if you so desire. As for now, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching this episode, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.